Welcome to Isis in the Bible Spring Gathering, week number 3. You can't hide her. The question today is, how can you witness the love of a mother? The love of a mother is not something taught. It is something felt, witnessed, and remembered. It moves quietly through nature, through timing, through every reflection we encounter. Today we gather to see how this presence reveals itself everywhere, reminding us what is true within can never be hidden. Thanks for joining us today. So I just want to recap a couple things, what we felt. And man, the 29th was absolutely amazing. And we'll talk a little bit about that. Tomorrow, Lilith aligns Mary near the cusp, right? 1 degree Aries. Lilith is Santa Claus. Lilith brings abundance. Lilith takes away abundance. She is Santa Claus. That is Sekhmet, Medusa. Yeah, it's quite interesting, all these alignments, and a lot of people are finding themselves in that abundant state. But the abundance is love, not material. So if you're loved and you're feeling loved, you've got everything. And if our material worlds are changing, which it is, that's okay. It's the love that helps guide us all. And again, April 15th, we got Mary aligns the sun. And then we're going to talk about the 4th as well, which is the Annapurna. So the new moon tonight. So I got this off of time and date for Windsor, and it's April the 1st. There's a 0 and a 1, and then 1011. And the pink moon just means a Pascal moon. Thank you, Kat, Rev Kat. It was my reminder. Got it from her beautiful article. And that Pascal moon is, why is it? It's an Easter moon. Why? Because April 15th is when the mother aligns with the sun. That's what we used to. We don't follow the civil calendar in spirit world. We follow the mother and the sun as she goes around the stations of the cross. So it's pretty interesting that 1011 is the Phoenix rising number, because this is what happens. 1011 in the circle of 60s is right here. The 0, the self-similar of the all, and then the embodiment, the other one, which is not the same one. That's why there's no such thing as duality. It's the same one. You just see two different sides, but it's the same one. So again, it's in Virgo. If you go look up in the sky, Virgo goes from there to there, and here's the constellation of Virgo, and there's the moon. It's about 18 degree. But I'll show you why it's really important, because it's aligned with a star that's really important, especially for what's going on around the world. So the moon is definitely in the sky in Virgo. So now, with everybody talking about it, has anybody talked about, probably some, who gets to witness this event? Like, are you ready? Like, you can't make this stuff up. Who's going to witness this event? This event is the California coastline. California. The moon will rise in that area. California coastline. Isn't that beautiful? But what's happening also on top of that is Algorab is rising. Algorab is the raven in Virgo. It exposes tricksters. So a lot of people out there who are not being honest get exposed. But then on the other side, Alpheratz is setting, and Alpheratz is the East Star, the navel of Pegasus, shared also as head of Andromeda. So these two. What does this mean? This means you're realizing the only one that saves you is you, and it's your images that you keep. This mythology isn't mythology, it's actual essences, actual vibrating essences that will remind us of who we really are. Perseus rides Pegasus to slay the head of Medusa. Medusa is Lilith, temptations, materialism. But once you realize that it's you that has to save you from all these materialisms, because it's something that you can do with your imagination. So again, April the 2nd, which is tomorrow, Lilith aligns with Mary. This is important because Lilith giveth and Lilith taketh away the material stuff. But love is always there, and that's what we need to see. And we had a lot of people talk about that when we went around the room. And even engaging that sometimes, although we think it's not there, it really is, because everybody's going through something, and sometimes a mother doesn't have the ability to show the love, but she is surrounded by it, and all we got to do is, like Cece said, just do the 5-step forgiveness process. We all need to do that with our mothers. I do it all the time. Okay, so here's an example of how you can't hide Mary Magdalene. All right, Mary Magdalene, that's Juno, that's Nephthys, the White Witch, the human form. Right? Again, look at this here. Looks like a sparkler. Looks like the peacock. That's what the symbol is. She's the peacock, right? She's the manifested woman, not the one in black, the one in white. The one in black is Isis, is Mary, is the one that's pure potential, the one that's closest thing to no thing. So here's how spirit shows up. Amy Semple McPherson, also known as by people as Mary Magdalene. Some people, particularly with the New Age Ascended Masters movement, have claimed that Amy Semple McPherson was a reincarnation of Mary Magdalene. We all embody every essence, every fixed and every wandering star in the sky. But why does she feel that way? Well, I'll tell you. So, without getting into too much detail, but there's Mary Magdalene aligned with Ceres, which is the harvester of a relationship. So she had a very good relationship with that Mary Magdalene essence. On top of that, Mother Mary, the other Mary, is in a trinity with Castor, exactly. And Castor is the mortal one. The immortal one will be Mary, the mortal one will be Mary Magdalene. And she's also on the Southern Cross, Alpha Crux. So she's got quite a bit. But again, here we go. Vesta on Algorab in Virgo exposes tricksters. So this is quite the alignment that she has, right? So Vesta being there, this would mean she wants to be a nun. Was she a never nun? I never went and looked, but they called her Sister Amy, or sister. So you can see that we embody these, but to say that there's only one Mary Magdalene and being re-embodied, every one of us is the essences that are in all the stars and all the fixed and the wandering stars. So Stations of the Cross, we want to prove to you that when Mary aligns the sun in the sky at different stations of the cross, we leave markers. Some examples are hiding in plain sight, which we showed you in the past, which we're going to go over one again, and also pure ignorance or removing of others. We'll let you decide whether people are intentionally doing this or not. You can't hide, or even if they're trying, it's impossible. So you can just track this to show how we've always done. The temple in Washington, the house of the temple, 787W, showed you this before. Washington was built by Scottish Rite Masons. Remember, Mason is Ma and Son, where they make sure they place markers of where she's at on the calendar, where they're at on the Stations of the Cross. This 77W was a phoenix rising, so that would meant that she rose in the east at 0 degree Aries, and this is 768 BC alignment of the phoenix rising. So we're always there. So this building, you'll see in many places, this was not done by politicians, folks. See the Sphinx? This is done by people that follow the divine feminine, because the love is always going to be in you, and somebody's always going to leave something behind. But people took this over. Was it ignorance or intentional? Again, I'll leave it up to you, but the whole point is it doesn't matter now, because the love is coming out and we're finding it again. So here's another example that this brother landed on my lap. The Old World Scotland, he's got a great channel, My Lunch Break channel. and he talked about Edinburgh in Scotland. Well, I said, I recognize that date of 1830. Well, that's when the sun aligned with Mary at this cusp of Zero Aquarius. Because when I seen this obelisk, I said, uh-oh, let me go check. And then when I looked at 1830, yep, they marked exactly when she was at 0 degree Aries. This ended up becoming a jail. And as you can see, 0 Aquarius means what? Forgiveness, bondage. But we're not supposed to jail people. That's karmic. We're supposed to give them therapy. So whether this is therapeutical or a jail, I don't know. I didn't get into the details because that doesn't matter now. It's what we're imagining for what we're supposed to do in the future. Again, she aligned at 0 degree Aquarius, and this is the image. So this is the exact chart of February 10th, 1831 is when it happened. And when the sun was aligned to Mary, it's exactly across from Edinburgh. They left a marker of when she, at the position of 0 Aquarius, they witnessed it. That's the location. So we put markers. You can't hide Mary. You can't hide love. It's impossible. You can never hide her. She'll always show up because the people that feel her love will always make markers. So on February 10th, 1831, the obelisk was there at Edinburgh, Scotland. It's not there no more. It's gone. But there's always witness marks. Why would a jail have an observatory? Why would it have the same buildings as you have in Washington, D.C., where we mark where Mary's at? You can't hide her. And this guy here, you can see that they use the square and the compass. Remember, doing rituals like the Masons of today does nothing for you. You have to understand and follow her and follow the love, not businesses. Nothing to do with business. Ma and son. Doing rituals is silly. Going to join a Mason to do rituals and go put yourself in a box is silly. That's not Freemasonry. Not at all. So at that time, we obviously were starting to realize, again, that it's all about forgiveness, because that's what Aquarius is all about. So let's talk about the Knights Templar arrested on Friday the 13th, October 1307. So simultaneous arrests of hundreds of Knights Templars across the land, including Grand Master Jacques de Molay, to seize their assets, losing their stuff, and eliminate their power. The arrests were based on fabricated accusations. So they arrested approximately 625 Templars in the first wave, targeting camaraderies, farms, castles nationwide. The thing is, it's not going to happen just there. These type of alignments are in the sky, folks. So people all over the world would have been losing things. Arrested, stopped, lose their assets. Here's the ticket. In Aquarius, Mother Mary with Pluto retrograde. Sarah's on the north-south node. That's relationships. People are going to get put into a new relationship. If they're going to that place where they're going to get rehabbed, that's a new relationship with people. And of course, the other Mary was retrograde. So this similar alignment, I can go through more detail, but I won't. This similar alignment's happening this summer, folks. The only thing different is Juno's in this place. And then Mary's going to retrograde. But we have the whole Annapurana, all the chart is one-sided. So you can't hide Lilith either. Temptress versus gifts. And remember, she does implosions, right? You hear me say that all over and over and over again, that Lilith does implosions. Have you ever heard of the Sedan crater? The Sedan crater in Nevada. Ever heard about it? This is what they say the story is, and we believe them. It was created by an underground nuclear test in Nevada, which was a surface explosion that formed the crater. Oh yeah, underneath formed a surface explosion. 1,280 feet wide by 320 feet deep. But when you start looking, at that exact time, at this exact location, the moon was rising with Pluto. And Lilith was exactly over that location. You can't make this stuff up, folks. We're being shown, and when there's implosions, when we call wars, that's nothing more than Mother Love coming, giving somebody a can of whoop ass, saying, you need to move. You need to get out of here. There's no love here. Get out of here. Because don't forget, those implosions are pure love. And by the way, look what was happening in the sky. There's Juno with the sun and Ceres. So when you look over there, it looks like there's been a whole bunch of implosions over time. So thanks, Sister Artist Terry. Here's a couple of things she sent me. Without getting into detail, Texas oil refinery explosion fills the skyline. Who was there involved? I'm not gonna go. I won't show the charts. Eris, Lilith, and Black Moon, and Mars. And then the sky turns red as tropical cyclone Narelle nears Western Australia. Guess what was happening at that exact same time? The moon was on Procyon. Procyon is before the dog, so it's warning you. It's red shifted material. You might lose some material. Get ready. That energy is coming. And that's what Procyon does. So we're always getting signs because it's Mother saying, hey, don't touch that. It's hot. So if you're doing your job with all your forgiveness process and being so loving, that hurricane, that truck, that it'll go by and you won't feel a thing. So again, on April the 5th, I said the 4th earlier, it's the 5th, the sky divides in half. Icarus is the last one to jump into the half, right? So you got the South Node, which is the black hole, which eclipses the sun and moon, and the North Node. So Icarus is the last one to pass over, into which Icarus is your wings. People are losing their wings. People are losing their ability to manifest what they want because they keep wanting material stuff. So that gets taken away. And we're all the role models showing it's all happening to us. And we're losing stuff because it happened to us what we did last life. So again, we're going to be watching this over the next months because Juno and Pluto control the chart. You have Black Moon here. All right. And in the summer, these two go retrograde. And that was the same thing as at Knights Templars. So we'll be following that. So here's the images that matches this on the Egyptian walls. This is the closest that I could find. The Knights Templar are arrested. There you go. There's Isis and Pluto. And then the ego arrested. This one here, there it is, right? You can see Mary Magdalene and Pluto or Osiris. And then there is Isis facing opposed. So they're going to go retrograde and then she'll join them. So the Egyptian walls are nothing more than the exact story that I show you that's in the stars. And we do it over and over again. Okay, Tiger Woods got a little fender bender. Well, look what happened with him. This is at the exact time of his little fender bender, which I guess the car rolled over a little bit. The moon was exactly on his natal Saturn. Okay, so time's involved. The sun was on Black Moon, so he's getting a very deep spiritual sign. The midheaven was on Jupiter, which is law, and what did he get show up? A whole bunch of police, right? Anyway, what's happening in his chart is pretty interesting because his wings are getting clipped. And it's aligned with Fomalhaut, the royal star of forgiveness. So he's probably got a few people he's got to ask for forgiveness. I heard there's some stories that, well, but I don't want to get into stories because I want to imagine him asking everybody forgiveness and everybody sending him love because the love's out there. So send Tiger some love because he's going to need it. He needs to realize, anybody knows him, I'll be more than happy to explain this to him, that it's time, but he's getting all the signs. It's not just a fluke accident. It wasn't because he was doing something that he should have at the time. That's just him trying to talk to himself. So you can't hide this love because this is the mother's love telling him, hey, it's time to come home to love. So on Sunday, March 29th, I did a presentation proving that God is a form, a path of perfection that is seen in Mother Nature all day long. It's such a powerful statement that so many synchronicities came to light, connecting the very essence of the vibration of the same. So just before the seminar, Brother Jason showed me what happened during his morning walk, what he found on his path before he came to Unity. So we're coming to talk about the G, the D, the 6, the 9, the GOD, right? And on his path, he saw a G and then a D. He was so excited to come in, he dragged me over to my poster that was there. And he said, look what happened to me. And remember, that's the day when the Cobra aligned the Vulture, the North Node, and Vesta. This is an event that happens in the sky. This is not a king, literal king. This is not a literal king, okay? I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. Those aren't literal kings and queens on the walls. Those are essences that happen in the sky that affect you on your journey. Every one of those essences is about you, all right? So this just, when you hit the love starts flowing everywhere. So when you're in tune, all the synchronicities start happening. So later on that day, on the 29th, during the Cobra, and you remember that Kathy told me that she saw the vultures flying in the street, which told me, okay, you need to add this on Wednesday. So I'm getting all kinds of guidance from the cat, the love from the cat. So while I'm doing this girl's chart, this lady's chart, and she's got a son that she wanted to know, I started talking to her about this whole thing. Her son's middle name is Orion. So we started talking about the Immaculate Conception and blah, blah, blah. And then her son comes out, hands her a baby pine cone. While we're talking about the Cobra and the Vulture coming out of the pineal gland, her son comes up, which is very, very, very connected. This little gentleman, 4 years old, because he first came in, sat down and looked at the screen, saw some Egyptian stuff, seen we were talking about this, left, comes back in with his dad and hands his mom a pine cone. A little tiny pine cone. So here we were talking about, I cleared out their faces, all right? So I cleared out mine too, because I told them I wouldn't show their faces, but she had said, you can talk about it. At the exact time, folks, that he handed her the pine cone, because I did all the math, because I got it all there, it's all recorded, all right? In my chart, the Heart of Fortune, which is Immaculate Conceptions, was aligned Destiny's Gate. Wings on my midheaven. In her chart, her son's chart, the vertex aligned with his natal Immaculate Conception, which is the Vulture. Her chart, the Immaculate Conception near the vertex, aligned. Well, these two charts will be the same, right? It's both her and him. And hers is on the moon and the Cobra. You can't make this stuff up. And while I'm creating this slide, she sends a request to get access to the video, which I sent her the link, so I shouldn't have done this, but it came anyway. And the exact moment she reached out to ask for it, the Black Moon and Vesta were setting in the east. So these vibrations, you can't deny. This is love. This is a mother showing her love. This is Mother Nature showing her love. This is 100% happening in the sky, and it's not going to go away. We are loved. We are love, and we need to share it far and wide. And that's all we have for today.